So for all of the people who aren't ARMYs, let me explain why BTS decided to do this right now and why the fandom is actually so supportive of it. If you didn't know, South Korea has a mandatory military enlistment of 2 years for all able-bodied men. A couple of years ago, the government made an amendment that said that men had to enlist by the time they were 30. And this was because a lot of men were deferring it because obviously they wanted to get their career settled before they went to serve. And the government was like, no, we want you to serve when you're at your physical peak, so you have until the time you're 30 to officially sign up. Jin turned 30 last year, but he got a military exemption last year so that he could do BTS activities this year. He was supposed to enlist this December. But since 2018, when BTS started to gain international popularity, the South Korean government has been talking about possibly granting BTS a military exemption. And this is because the group's success had been significantly contributing to South Korea's economy. And throughout this whole time, BTS were being really careful with what they were saying. Because a K-pop boy group has never been granted a military exemption, so this was an extremely controversial topic. They would just say, we're prepared to fulfill our duty. But ARMYs had a lot of hope that the South Korean government would actually grant them the exception. So the years go by and BTS keeps getting bigger and bigger. And at one point, the South Korean government actually asked the public if they think that BTS should get a military exemption. This causes a huge uproar, so the South Korean government has to backtrack and they're like, we're sorry that we got you involved, we'll make this decision on our own. The boys are going to go on another world tour, but then the pandemic hits. And Jin is getting closer and closer to 30. So then it's 2022, the boys do 4 shows in Vegas, and we're all thinking, oh, they're gonna do another world tour before Jin has to enlist. But then, bam! They announced that they're actually going on a hiatus. And while we're all freaking out, the South Korean economy starts to plummet. And that's when the South Korean government truly realizes the power that BTS has on their economy. So they suggest that BTS hosts a free concert in Busan where they will assess their true impact. And based on that, they will see if they'll grant them a military exemption. Now, BTS agrees to this because they've always said that they want to do a free concert for their fans. And 3 days ago, the sold-out show happened. Obviously, there were military officials present. It is an incredibly successful show, and over 40 million people stream it online. And remember, this show just happened a couple of days ago. So while the government is trying to decide whether or not they're going to grant them the exception, BTS's company drops this official announcement where it says that the boys have decided that they will fulfill their mandatory military service. They got tired of the government just playing around with their future, so they decided to take it into their own hands. And in the process, they embarrassed their politicians. This is their choice, and this is why we 100% support it.